What is up, trading card gang? Welcome back to another video. You may notice that I am all alone. Sean is not here right now. He's going through some family issues. Everything should hopefully be okay, but thoughts and prayers with him just in case. Anyway, so this week he's going to be out. Hopefully by next week he should be back again. If not, I do have my buddy Zach to film some stuff with, because he's going to be doing a special video with me, I think, for next week. But I decided I'm going to do more game stuff this week. I don't want to open up packs without Sean, for sure. At least Pokemon packs right now without Sean. Because he was really looking forward to actually doing something this week, and then stuff happened. So without further ado, though, I'm going to show you my entire Super Nintendo game collection. So I might have shown some of these games already, but I wanted to show it off again. Oh, forgot to tell you, got a new mat. Got this off of the Pokemon Center. The Gyarados mat. Love it. It feels so nice. It's so cool. This is going to be my new pack opening mat now. And it's awesome. I'm pumped to use it. It actually feels nicer than the mat that I got Sean, I feel. But, well, I don't know how long it'll last. But, yeah, it was awesome. You can get these. They have a couple different designs at the Pokemon Center right now. Get them there. Really cool. Not sponsored. But let's start things off with, I got Mario Paint here. Mario Paint, you know, it's a cool game. You play with a mouse. I did some painting, as it says in its name. But you also could make music. A lot of people have done some really cool things with the music stuff there. And there's also this really cool fly swatting game that they kind of put into Mario Maker 1 or 2, I forget which one. Sort of, but not a whole lot of it in there. It's only like kind of there. It's a really fun, hard game to play, but it's so cool. Mario Paint uses a mouse, which is way different from like what any other Super Nintendo game uses. And it was just really, it's just a fun and interesting game. And it's really cool. I like it. Definitely recommend checking it out if you got a Super Nintendo. Super Game Boy. I think I talked about this one. This allows you to play Game Boy Color games on your Super Nintendo, which is really cool when you don't want to be staring at a small screen, because it blows it up on the big screen for you. And this is how I was playing a lot of them until I modded my Game Boy Advance, because that regular Game Boy Advance screen is just garbage. But having this is so much better. I definitely know, I think I talked about that before, though. Some of the other games in here, I know I definitely talked about. Super Goof Troop, or not just Super Goof Troop, just Goof Troop. It's a Capcom game. It's a cool, like, co-op game. You play as Goofy and Max. You're going through different puzzles on an island with, like, pirates and stuff like that. I never have beaten this game. I gotten really close, I guess, as a kid, because I think once you beat, like, I think it's Pete on the ship, there's only, like, one more level after that, I think. And that's as far as I got, which was fighting Pete on the ship, and I think I didn't make it through that. It doesn't have a save feature, but it does have a password system, which is pretty cool. One of my favorite games of all time, Donkey Kong Country, Diddy's Conquest. I know I've shown you guys this before, so I won't talk about it too much. It's a cool game, side-scrolling, platformer, successor to Donkey Kong Country, prequel to Donkey Kong Country 3. Yeah, it's a cool game. Definitely check it out. Totally recommend it. I don't know if I talked about this. The Great Circus Mystery, starring Mickey and Minnie. I think I might have talked about this, because I picked it up not too long ago, a couple months ago now. It's another Capcom game. I think I did talk about this. It's kind of like Mega Man in a way, but more linear. You got different suits you can change into, which is like almost like changing different power-ups, and different suits and stuff like that have strengths and weaknesses to certain bosses in the game. It's a pretty short game, fairly easy. It was definitely hard as a kid. I found it to be a lot easier as an adult now to play through. I was able to beat it in one sitting. I did have to use continues a few times, which was pretty interesting, but it wasn't too hard. I definitely recommend checking this out, though, if you want an interesting, like, Mickey and Minnie game. Mega Man X, one of my all-time favorite Super Nintendo games. Very close to Donkey Kong Country 2. As a kid, I actually hated this game because it was so tough and I couldn't do anything. But as I got older and I kept playing it, and getting a little bit better and a little bit better, I appreciate it more and more. I don't know if I told this story. So this isn't my original copy. I did have one, and I let some kid borrow it. And back in the day, if you didn't write your name on the games, which I didn't like doing because I didn't like defacing my games, if you didn't write your name on stuff, kids would just steal them. I let this kid borrow this game because I was like, this game's awesome. It's one of my favorite games. And I thought he was a friend of mine and everything like that. And he was like, oh yeah, cool. So we borrowed it. And then like, I was like, hey, can I have it back? And he's like, oh no, you gave that game to me. It's my game now. And I almost stole it from his house one day when I was hanging out with him. I was super tempted, but I'm such a nice kid that I couldn't even steal my own game back from him. But I was happy to add this to my collection again, and it's in really good condition, works just fine. Still a really tough game, even to this day. I am much better at Mega Man X because I've just played so much of it throughout the years, but fun game, definitely worth checking out. Next we got Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island. Another classic side-scrolling game. Most of these are side-scrollers. I really like side-scrollers and platformers and stuff like that. This game's really cool. Plays Yoshi, got Baby Mario on your back. He cries like an annoying baby when Yoshi gets hit. And instead of having health, you have a timer. And that timer counts down. When it hits 0, Baby Mario gets picked up by, I forget who, but a bunch of them. It's like little bird guys or whatever. And they fly him off, and that's basically you losing a life. Cool game. 8 worlds, I think, in this game. Great music, great art style, and a lot of interesting mechanics in this game compared to a lot of other Super Nintendo games of that time. What do we got here? Super Mario All-Stars. Okay. So Super Mario All-Stars has Super Mario Brothers, the original game, Super Mario Brothers 2, The Lost Levels, I believe. Super Mario Brothers 2, which was the the American Super Mario Brothers 2, but not the Japanese Super Mario Brothers 2. You can also get and Super Mario World 3, one of my favorite games. You can get this, also comes with Super Mario World on it as well. This copy does not have that, it is not that version. That version is, I guess, a little bit rarer to find. It's not super expensive, but it's a little bit harder to find. But great games, Super Mario games, like, obviously you're gonna love them. Jurassic Park. What can I say about this game? It's got dinosaurs. It's not a good game. I think this version of Jurassic Park is not as good. It's top-down, like, shooter, and then when you're inside buildings, it becomes a Doom-like game, and you're in first person going through corridors, and you fight the different, like, dinosaurs in the corridors. Game is ridiculously tough, and I think the Sega Genesis version is way better, even if it has really not great controls in overall, because it's a side scroller for the Sega Genesis, and it also has one of my favorite modes, which is you play as a raptor mode, which is so cool, even though it's like the worst controls ever. It's like one of my favorite things is playing as the raptor, even though that game actually scared me as a child. Here's my other copy of Donkey Kong Country 2. I ended up with 2 copies because I needed to get, I think, Donkey Kong Country 1 and 3 back into my collection, and so I bought all 3 at the same time because it was like $20 for all 3 of them or something like that. So I was like, yeah, screw it. So I have a copy of them. Timon and Pumbaa's Jungle Games. So this is just a bunch of mini games with like basically Timon and Pumbaa themes. It's got like the bug catching game, which is almost like catching apples from falling from the sky. You gotta collect the bugs and they get faster and faster. It's got pinball. I haven't played this in a while, so I don't remember what else is in here. Those are the only 2 I remember from off the top of my head. It's just some mini games. I used to play it a lot as a kid. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Super Pitfall: The Mayan Adventure. I think I've talked about this. I know I have talked about this because I have it on the Game Boy Advance as well. I believe the Game Boy Advance version is lacking music, which is, well, it has music in like menus and stuff, but it doesn't have it in the actual levels, which I'm pretty sure it has like those music and sound effects there that aren't there for the Game Boy Advance for some reason. Maybe just because of lack of power or something. I don't know, or the way it was built. But yeah, that's Pitfall: The Mayan Adventure. Star Fox. I actually have 2 copies of Star Fox. And I have this copy, and then I have one with a case. The case one is sitting upstairs somewhere, and I don't feel like finding it. This is my original copy of Star Fox. Great game, fantastic music. It's a really cool, like, on the rails shooter type game. Only thing that's better than this, I think, is Star Fox 64, which is like my absolute favorite Star Fox game of all time. But this Star Fox game is really fun. It's really tough. A lot of different paths you can choose to take, and the different paths are different difficulties, which is really interesting. But great game. Highly recommend checking it out if you've never played Star Fox. And if you have the classic collection, you can play Star Fox 2, which was never officially released, which is also pretty cool and fun for an interesting like game that never was, I think, fully finished. Next up is Toy Story. This game is not good. It's not good, but I had it as a child. I think I could beat maybe the first level. Never could make it through the second or third level. So when you're riding on the Dinosaur Rex, if you're familiar with Toy Story, and it's like an auto-scroller-ish like thing where he's running and you're just riding as Woody on his back, and you gotta like jump over obstacles and stuff like that. And it's just tough, and it's a lives killer. Yep. And I can never make it past that. So here's Bram Stoker's Dracula. I remember going with my cousin and my uncle to a flea market. Never had been to a flea market before. Didn't know what a flea market was. Thought it was a place where you get fleas. I was really confused. I was like, why are we going to a flea market? But we went to a flea market. I didn't really want anything. And then I saw a table that had some games. I saw Dracula, and I think maybe 2 other games. And the other 2 games I had before. I don't remember what they were from when I was a kid. But I was like, I'll get this game. It's like $10. So I got Dracula. It's a pretty cool game. From what I remember, it's like another side-scroller game. Plays some dude who I think has like headphones or something on, and he's trying to kill Dracula, because I'm not super familiar with the characters of Bram Stoker's Dracula, except for Dracula himself. I've never read the books, and I haven't really seen many of the movies. I have been meaning to watch the movies, but I just don't have time to watch anything anymore. But I do want to see them someday. I also want to watch Nosferatu, because I believe it's its 100th anniversary was this year, which is also pretty cool. The original Nosferatu, anyway. The one that was supposed to be destroyed from Germany or something like that, because it's like a rip-off of Dracula. It's technically not Dracula, but it is Dracula, if that makes any sense. But yeah, cool game. I believe it's got another version on the Genesis. It's completely different, if I remember correctly, but I don't remember correctly. So don't quote me on that one. But yeah, cool game. Next up, Donkey Kong Country. The start of the Donkey Kong Country games. A fantastic game made by Rare. Nintendo published this. So it's an American-made game. And what they did was, what was really cool and never seen before, they took 3D models. Yes, 3D models, that's right. And they turned that into sprites. Like they animated out they did the animations, and they captured that as a 2D sprites, which they then put into the game. And then for the music, which is some of the most amazing music, is in Donkey Kong Country, Donkey Kong Country 2, Donkey Kong Country 3, also pretty good, not as good as the first 2, but they had to do some. So they had to come up with like a whole different way to set up the music into the game, and I don't remember exactly what they did, but what they basically did was just made it so that way it all fit into this game and sounded amazing, and it's really cool. I definitely say find a video that talks about that, because it's a really interesting watch. I wish I had a link to give you in the bottom, but I don't remember exactly who's talked about it that I've watched. I watch a lot of gaming YouTube stuff. Donkey Kong Country 3, Dixie Kong's Double Trouble. I actually really liked this game as a kid, because I thought it was really interesting how you kind of had almost a free roam on the overworld map. you weren't necessarily just stuck to the points that you moved in like you do in Donkey Kong Country and Donkey Kong Country 2. You had some like free roaming parts. There's a raft that you can get and you can upgrade. It was a little more adventurous, which was pretty cool. And it was definitely pretty tough from what I remember as a kid. I think it took me quite a while to beat this game. Because the controls, I guess, aren't as good, and that's probably why it was harder to beat than Donkey Kong Country 1 and 2. But yeah, it's still a really good game. I highly recommend still playing it, though. Oh, Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. I honestly don't remember anything about this game. I just remember that it's not a good game from what I've been remembered. I'm really blanking Mystic Quest stuff. So I can't even really talk about it because I just don't remember Final Fantasy Mystic Quest that well. Sorry. And then the Jungle Book. So the Jungle Book. I also remember this game being very tough, and I think I could only beat like 2 or 3 levels as a kid before I just gave up on it. Disney games were really tough because they didn't want you to rent them and beat them in a weekend and never play them again. So they made them really tough. So that way you would either buy the game or just keep renting it over and over and over again. And the Jungle Book is no exception on that. I vaguely remember, I think, the level with the orangutan guy. I forget his name right now because I haven't watched Jungle Book in like 20 years. The music was good. I remember that it was very much like the movie's music. Yeah, I just remember kind of the orangutan level, and there's a lot of climbing, and then you fight him at the end as the boss. And then I know I beat this game as a kid, I think once, and you fight the tiger. Oh, I forget every character's name except for like Baloo the bear and Mowgli the human you play as. Oh, it's gonna bother me. But I don't recommend this game. It's tough and it's just kind of meh. But I mean, if you got nothing else to play, check it out, I guess. There's worse games. There's worse games. These two are just in this bin, so I think I'll just talk about them. Oh, here we go. The good Jurassic Park. Sega Genesis Jurassic Park. I already kind of talked about it, so I'm not gonna say too much about it. You know, you could play as the dinosaur. You could play as Alan from Jurassic Park, and he goes through the levels. There's a really frustrating raft level where there's T-Rexes just kind of pop out and eat you. You get to use guns and stuff. Side scroller. The T-Rex. You eat people. I mean, the T-Rex, the Velociraptor. You get to eat people. You jump like crazy high and fast, and he makes that like weird raptor sound that they created for the movies. And then Vector Man is a vector-based game using 3D vectors on a 2D game. Tough game, from what I remember, because I haven't actually played this game yet, because I don't have a Genesis anymore. And the Super NT is still not, the Mega SG, sorry, is still not available for me to purchase, so I could buy and play Genesis games in 4K, or 1080 HP, 1080, oh my goodness, 1080p HD without having a MODA system or connected to a converter or anything like that. And it also would have fixed the audio issues that people had with the Genesis games because the chip wasn't as powerful. So the full audio of all the games is much better, which Genesis games would have had better audio than Super Nintendo if they weren't cheap about the chips in the Genesis. But yeah, Vector Man, it's like a cool like game. You're a dude and you can transform into different things when you grab things. Yeah, that's a whole great sentence right there. And yeah, it's a cool game though from what I've seen. And then what I recently added to my collection, this cost me a little bit more than I would like to say it cost me, but cheaper than it regularly goes for by like maybe $10. Is Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars. I never had this as a kid, although my friend Paul, shoutouts to Paul, who watches this video, he has this game. He actually still has the box for it and everything, which is worth quite a bit of money, actually, if I remember correctly. He has no plans of selling it, obviously, but it's just nice to know the values of things sometimes. I played it with him a few times, and I've tried to play it in emulators. I'm not huge in playing on emulators. I just, for some reason, when I'm playing it on a physical copy, I will more likely beat the game. Although I haven't started yet because Elden Ring came out, and I've just been playing that non-stop, basically. But I'm gonna beat this hopefully soon. I'm gonna play this soon and play through it hopefully all the way. I'm looking really forward to it because I know it's one of the best of the RPG Mario games. Aside from some of the, ones that came out after it, which is the Mario and Luigi's, and obviously, Paper Mario and Thousand Year Old Door. But I'm really looking forward to playing this because I've seen speedruns of it, and I just want to experience it myself now, because speedruns, even if they do like 100% or anything like that, they skip a lot of stuff. So I'm pretty excited to play this at my own pace and enjoy this game. See why everybody really loves Geno so much. And yeah, I guess that will do it for this episode. Once again, everybody, I hope your thoughts and prayers are with Sean and his family and whatnot right now. I don't want to say what is going on because it's not my place to say. However, when he comes back, if he wants to say, more than welcome for him to say that, whatever he wants. And yeah, don't forget we are on that road to 50. When we hit 50 subscribers, we're gonna definitely do a live stream. Hit us up on Instagram, getting a lot of followers there. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter and TikTok and, all that good stuff. Leave a comment down below. Did you play any of these games? Are there any of these games you wish you had when you were a kid? Have you played Super Mario RPG? Did you like it? Vector Man, which Jurassic Park's your favorite Jurassic Park movie or game? Whichever. I don't care. First one's the best movie. Just saying. But yeah, that'll do it for this week. And I will see you guys same time, same place. Bye.